Okay, so want to be a product owner?
Yeah.
Calling the shots in the next big thing? Well,
Yeah.
today's deep
Ah,
dive is your cheat sheet for acing that interview.
okay.
We are going to be dissecting a YouTube video by interview guru
Mm,
Joshua Brown
okay.
from howtobecome.com.
Right.
He is giving away the goods on how to knock those tough questions
Oh,
out of the park.
I like it. And what I find really interesting is that Brown doesn't mess around with any of that like industry specific stuff,
Right?
He goes straight for the like universal truths of product owner interviews,
Yeah.
which tells me we're about to uncover some like fundamental strategies,
Mm-hmm.
the kind of things that hiring managers are looking for no matter what,
Okay.
you know.
You've been doing a ton of these deep dives on product owners.
I have.
For those who are just tuning in, could you give us a quick rundown of what this role actually entails?
Oh, yeah, of course. So in a nutshell, product owner is like the captain of a ship navigating the seas of product development.
Okay.
They are responsible for steering the product vision,
Hmm.
prioritizing what gets built, and
Right.
making sure everybody on the team is rowing in the same direction.
Yeah.
And to do that, they need a blend of technical know-how,
Mm-hmm.
business acumen,
Right.
and serious people skills.
So you need to be firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, you got to have it all.
Speaking of which, Brown kicks things off with a classic,
Yeah.
the dreaded "tell me about yourself" question.
Right. And this is where it gets really interesting. Most people treat this as such a throwaway,
Right.
a chance to just regurgitate their resume.
Mm-hmm.
But Brown sees it as your first opportunity to prove that you've done your homework,
Okay.
that you're not just blindly applying to any open product owner position out there.
Right.
He wants you to like wow them with how your unique skills and experiences directly align with their specific needs.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like you've been preparing to work for them all along.
It's like that saying, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity.
Right.
Only in this case, you're engineering your own luck by demonstrating that you're not just a good fit for any product owner role,
Mm-hmm.
but the perfect fit for this particular role.
You got it. He actually calls the job description your blueprint for success.
Wow.
And what he really emphasizes is using the same language and keywords that they use,
Okay.
but then backing it up with like tangible examples from your own experience.
Oh, that's good.
So for instance, if a company is looking for a product owner who's really comfortable with data,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't just say, I'm data driven.
Right.
You'd say something like, in my previous role, I used data analytics to identify a bottleneck in our user onboarding process. And by tweaking it, I increased user signups by 15%.
Okay, that's a game changer.
Right.
Instead of just telling them what you're good at, you're showing them.
Yes.
You're painting a vivid picture of your capabilities in action.
Exactly. And this is where Brown emphasizes something that might surprise you.
Okay.
The importance of empathy for users.
Empathy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected that to be like high on the list
Right.
for a product owner.
And that's why it's so crucial.
Okay.
He stresses that a truly great product owner doesn't just build features because they sound cool on paper.
Right.
They build features that solve real problems for real people.
Mm-hmm.
They need to be able to step into the user's shoes,
Yeah.
understand their pain points,
Yeah.
and then really champion their needs throughout that entire development process.
It's like being a detective.
Right.
But instead of solving crimes,
Yes.
you're solving user problems.
Exactly.
So you need to be able to like gather clues from data, user feedback, market trends,
Yeah.
and then piece them all together
Yeah.
to create a product that people will actually love and use.
Love it.
Yeah.
And that brings us to another critical aspect of the product owner's skill set.
Oh.
The ability to effectively communicate with stakeholders.
Because you're not just building the product in a vacuum.
Right. No.
You've got to be able to rally the troops, get everyone on board with the vision.
It's so true.
Yeah.
You are the bridge between the development team,
Right.
the business folks,
Uh-huh.
and then ultimately the end users.
Yeah.
And that requires clear, concise, and persuasive communication.
Okay.
You need to be able to explain complex technical concepts in a way that everyone understands,
Yeah.
manage expectations,
Right.
and then navigate those inevitable disagreements that crop up during any project.
So it's not just about being technically savvy. You've got to be a people person too.
100%.
Yeah.
It's a balancing act.
It's like being a diplomat,
Yes,
negotiating agreements and building consensus.
absolutely. And this is where Brown introduces a technique that's pure gold for any interview,
Yeah.
not just for product owners.
All right.
The STAR method.
Okay, let's unpack this STAR method because I have a feeling this is something our listeners will want to jot down.
Oh, for sure. Write this down.
Yeah.
So STAR stands for situation,
Okay.
task, action, result. And this is the part people always forget, reflection.
Oh.
It's a framework for answering behavioral questions.
Hmm.
Those tricky ones that start with, tell me about a time you...
Well, I know those questions.
Right?
They always throw me for a loop.
Yeah.
So how does the STAR method help?
So it helps you structure your answer
Okay.
in a way that's clear,
Mm-hmm.
concise,
Right.
and memorable.
Okay.
So let's say the interviewer asks, tell me about a time you faced a challenging situation at work.
Oh, classic.
Right. Instead of launching into this rambling story,
Right.
you'd use the STAR method to break it down.
Okay. I like it. Okay. I'm already seeing how this could be helpful.
Right.
So walk me through it.
Okay.
How would you use the STAR method to tackle that challenging situation question?
Okay, so let's say you were working on this new feature launch
Mm-hmm.
and the deadline got moved up unexpectedly. Yeah, that's your situation.
Okay.
The task was to deliver this complex feature
Right.
ahead of schedule without sacrificing quality.
Yeah.
Now the action is where you shine.
Okay.
So did you pull the team together for a brainstorming session?
Mhm.
Did you delegate tasks effectively?
Right.
Did you work those late nights to hit the new deadline?
Burn the midnight oil.
Exactly.
So then you talk about the result.
Yes.
So hopefully you still launch the feature successfully,
Right.
even with the shortened timeline.
Exactly. Ideally, you want to highlight a positive outcome, right?
Right.
Showcasing your ability to deliver under pressure.
Yeah.
But the real magic of the STAR method is in the reflection.
Okay.
This is where you demonstrate that you've learned and grown from that experience.
Right.
Did you discover a more efficient way to manage your time?
Okay.
Did you identify any communication breakdowns within the team?
It's like turning a stressful situation into a valuable learning opportunity.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It shows that you're not just going through the motions.
Mm-hmm.
You're actively trying to improve your process.
Yes. And that's the kind of insight that makes hiring managers sit up and take notice.
This is gold.
Yeah.
So you've nailed tell me about yourself. You've used the STAR method to showcase your skills and experience.
Yeah.
What else does Brown have up his sleeve?
Okay, so he throws in a whole bunch of additional questions that are really designed to see how you think on your feet.
Mm.
For instance, he talks about how important it is to have a really solid understanding of different prioritization techniques.
Okay, because as a product owner, you're constantly having to make tough decisions about what gets built first.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You've got a limited amount of time and resources and budget,
Right.
and you're always juggling competing priorities.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants to know, how do you decide which features are must-haves,
Right.
which ones are nice-to-haves,
Yeah.
which ones can maybe be put on the back burner?
Right.
Are you prioritizing based on user needs,
Yeah.
business value,
Huh.
technical feasibility?
And there's no one right answer, is there?
Right.
It probably depends on the
Yeah,
specific company,
Yeah.
and product, and everything.
It's all about context.
Yeah.
But what those hiring managers want to see is that you have a framework for making those decisions,
Okay.
a way of thinking through the trade-offs and then being able to justify your choices.
It's like being a judge
Oh, I like that.
in a court of product features,
Okay.
weighing the evidence,
Mm-hmm.
issuing a ruling.
I love that analogy.
Uh-huh.
And speaking of tough decisions,
Okay.
Brown also highlights the importance of being able to handle changing requirements.
Okay, because in the tech world, the only constant is change, right?
100%.
Yeah.
So think about a time when maybe a project you were working on suddenly had to pivot.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a competitor launched a game-changing feature,
Mm-hmm.
or new regulations came into play that required you to rethink your whole approach.
Or your CEO had a sudden change of heart about the product roadmap.
Oh, yeah, that happens all the time.
Right.
Right. Those are the moments when a product owner's mettle is truly tested.
Mm.
You need to be able to adapt quickly,
Right.
communicate effectively,
Mm.
and keep the team motivated and aligned,
Yeah.
even when the ground is shifting beneath your feet.
It's like you're the captain of a ship that's suddenly caught in storm.
Yeah.
You have to adjust your course,
Right.
batten down the hatches,
Right.
and make sure everyone stays calm and focused.
It's all about leadership in those moments.
Right.
And that's why Brown stresses the importance of having a system for managing these kinds of situations.
Okay.
He wants to know, how do you gather and incorporate feedback when priorities shift?
Mm-hmm.
How do you keep your team informed and engaged when the goalposts move?
Because it's not just about making the tough decisions yourself.
Right.
It's about bringing everyone along on the journey.
Exactly. It's a team effort. And that actually ties back to what we were discussing earlier about empathy.
Okay.
A good product owner doesn't just like dictate from on high.
Right.
They listen, they collaborate, and they really try to build
This
consensus.
is like you're a leader, a negotiator,
Yes.
a therapist,
Yeah.
all rolled into one.
That's a good way to put it.
It's making me rethink my whole career path.
Well, maybe we'll do a deep dive on career changes next time.
Fine.
But for now, let's stick with helping our aspiring product owners ace those interviews.
Yes.
And while Brown's video provides like a fantastic roadmap of what to say,
Okay.
we always like to leave our listeners with something extra to ponder.
I love these bonus insights. It's like the cherry on top of the deep dive sundae.
Oh, I like that.
I know, right?
Indeed. And today's cherry is this. Brown focuses very heavily on content,
Okay.
what to say in your interview.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about delivery.
Okay.
How important is the how
Woo.
when it comes to like making a good impression?
Oh, that's huge. You could have the most brilliant answers.
Right.
But if you're mumbling them under your breath,
Right.
avoiding eye contact,
Yeah.
or coming across as like arrogant,
Mm-hmm.
it's all for nothing.
It's true. Things like active listening,
Right.
genuine enthusiasm,
Mhm.
and like clear, confident communication
Yeah.
can make all the difference.
So for our listeners who are prepping for product owner interviews,
Yes.
it's not just about memorizing facts and figures.
Right.
It's about practicing your delivery too.
100%.
Yeah.
Record yourself answering common interview questions.
Okay.
Do mock interviews with friends or colleagues.
Yeah.
Just imagine yourself in that room,
Right.
the hiring manager.
Mm.
The more you practice, the more confident and natural you'll become.
It's like anything else in life.
Yeah.
Preparation is key.
Couldn't agree more.
Yes.
By internalizing these tips,
Mm-hmm.
practicing your answers,
Yes.
and really focusing on both the what and the how of your communication, you'll be well on your way to acing that interview
Yes.
and landing your dream product owner role.
And there you have it. Our deep dives into the world of product owner interviews, complete with actionable advice.
There you go.
And maybe even a few aha moments along the way.
Hopefully some good takeaways.
Yes. Remember, you got this.
That's right.
Until next time, keep
Yeah.
learning,
Keep growing.
keep growing.
And keep diving deep.
Dive deep, my friends.